Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is Lifestyle Critic, where we break down movies and TV shows into their core elements. And in this video we are going to be reviewing the recently released Netflix original movie Thunder Force, which is a superhero comedy movie with a really interesting premise and a brilliant cast. And I was really expecting and hoping that this movie would be brilliant, but it's just a really drawn out movie. It's incredibly predictable and it's incredibly cringeworthy as well. I mean, sure, there are a few laughs in there, but you're just left questioning what on earth did I just watch, as ultimately it's really disappointing and really embarrassing as well. And I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, there's an alien substance that comes down to Earth and turns people with a predisposition to evil and a sociopathic brain into supervillains, which in this universe they call miscreants. One day these miscreants go and kill intelligent girl Emily's parents, which in turn makes Emily want to dedicate her entire life to be able to turn humans into superhumans and defeat the miscreants once and for all. At the same time as this, they spend such a long time exploring the lost friendship between Emily and Lydia. I mean, they could have done this in about 10 minutes, but they spend so long exploring this, and it takes almost an hour before any action sequences take place, which is just really disappointing, as the premise of this movie is actually really intriguing, but they totally butchered it in its execution. So from a cast and characters point of view, there's actually really brilliant names associated with this film. It's just really disappointing that their portrayals aren't as great as they could have been. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, we have Melissa McCarthy, who really does steal this film. She's definitely the standout performer, the standout character. She's very larger than life, but just done in a very annoying way, as she's totally suffocating the screen time. I mean, there are certain moments which are just really, really cringeworthy, as the actress just goes on and on and on. And granted, there are some incredibly funny moments in there, but it really just does feel like the Melissa McCarthy show, and that is her film, but just done in a bit of an annoying way. Next up we have Octavia Spencer, who by contrast is very one-dimensional and one-toned in this movie, and I was a little bit disappointed. I was just waiting and hoping and expecting that there would be some hilarious moments coming from this character, but unfortunately they just did not happen. It was just a really serious inventor type character who does go on a bit of an interesting character journey, but it was just not as funny as I was hoping, as I really do like Octavia Spencer as an actress, and she is capable of being absolutely hilarious in her own right as well. It was just really disappointing that we didn't see it in this movie. Next up we have Jason Bateman, who plays a character called the Crab Man, who is just a bit of a bizarre villain in this movie. I mean, he wasn't that funny at all, and if anything, he was pretty cringeworthy himself as well, so it's just not the best performance from Jason Bateman in this movie. Next up we have Bobby Cannavale, who is playing the big bad villain in this movie, and just disappointingly from his side, he was just being bad for the sake of being bad. He wasn't very layered, he wasn't very intriguing, he wasn't very funny either, so that was pretty disappointing as well. Next up we have Klementieff, who is playing a character called Laser. Now from a visuals point of view, her powers were actually really, really cool. She was a little bit intimidating, a little bit menacing as well, but from a hilarious comedy point of view, it was just not there. Next up we have Melissa Leo, who is playing an intelligent character that works alongside Emily in terms of creating this substance that is going to turn normal people into superhumans. In terms of her character arc, it was totally predictable in terms of what this character was going to do. And then finally we have Taylor Mosley, who plays a character called Tracy, who is Emily's daughter, and she definitely brings the heart and the wisdom that this movie really, really does need. So from a cast and characters point of view, whilst they had decent actors and actresses playing the different characters in this movie, their performances and the script just really let them down. So from a visuals point of view, like I said before, the powers do actually look really, really impressive. You do believe that you're in this world with super villains and superheroes, as everything looks really believable and really impressive as well. There are some really hilarious training sequences as well, where the Octavia Spencer and the Melissa McCarthy characters are learning how to use their powers and are being trained up. And those sequences are really, really funny. I mean, I do feel like that overall sketch did go on for quite a long time, but you know, that being said, it was really, really hilarious. And the aesthetic, at least from the start and the end of the movie, really does feel like a comic book. So all of those sequences look really, really great. It's just a shame that the cringeworthy comedy just really detract from the visuals. So in terms of comparisons, I'd definitely say this is on the same level as other Adam Sandler movies and other Ben Falcone and Melissa McCarthy joined up films as well. I mean, I was questioning whether or not this is actually a parody movie, but then I was like, no, it's definitely not a parody movie, but it's trying to be a really hilarious comedy movie, but unfortunately it's just not working that well, and so from a comparison point of view, there are just so many better movies out there. So overall, when I heard about Thunder Force, I was actually looking forward to watching it and I was hoping that I would really enjoy it, but unfortunately it's just really, really slow, it's really disappointing, it's really cringeworthy, and it's actually really slow as well. So whilst it does have a decent cast in there, and whilst there are some hilarious moments in there as well, overall it's just not that great of an experience, and so for all of those reasons I have to give it a 2.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise I look forward to seeing you in my next video.